Hey everybody, it is Nathan Selove, and I am still visiting my parents for the holidays, and I've still had a very busy schedule for the holidays, so once again I'm doing this on my cell phone, but I think that this is going to be a really fun video because something really funny happened recently and I gotta tell people about it. So my parents live in a 100-year-old country house, and that means that oftentimes mice get into it during the winter. Now, I know that for some of you city folk out there, you might associate mice in the house with, oh, well, that only happens if it's a very dirty house. In the country, that's not necessarily the case because there's not a lot of houses, there's not a lot of options for mice to go into. So during the winter, they often take cover in houses. So my parents do sometimes have a few mice in the house, which means that we set out mouse traps. Now, Jess and I often have this argument about where we should put mouse traps because she's always concerned that either Blake or Sylvia are going to sniff at it and then they're going to get their nose snapped. I personally believe that the first time that happens, they're going to learn and they're never going to try to do it again. But regardless, I've always kind of held that it is very likely that if Blake were to find a mousetrap, that she would either leave it alone or touch it once, it would snap, and then she would never try to do it again. So Jess and I get home, and I see Blake go to a corner where there's a mousetrap, and I'm thinking, oh, this is not going to end well. And then she starts walking, and I notice that she has the mousetrap in her mouth. And my first thought was, why the hell would you do that? Why do you have a mousetrap in your mouth? And then Jess sees it, and she's like, see, Nathan, I told you, Blake definitely can't tell the difference between mousetraps, and she's definitely going to try to snap one on herself, and she's going to get hurt. And luckily this one was one that was already snapped. And that's when we realized why it was snapped, because we took the mousetrap. My mother took the mousetrap out of her mouth and realized that it had a mouse in it. So there was this dead mouse on a mousetrap that was in Blake's mouth, and she was just kind of walking normally, like, oh, and I didn't, no one like freaked out or anything. We just all started laughing. And I was like, Blake, you are disgusting. I love you. You are so cute, but that is so gross. So we took the mouse outside, but it was a really funny situation. I think this is another good example of how, when service dogs are off duty, they're just dogs. They're just regular dogs, and they do really disgusting dog stuff like that. And I hope that this story gave some of you at least as much of a laugh as it gave us. I hope that everybody enjoyed their New Year's and that everybody's enjoying their holidays. In the meantime, that's today's video. Thank you all for watching. If you liked this video, give it a like, a share, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Check out some of my other stuff, and I will see you next week.